Hello, I'm Rob, and welcome to this edition of R&B Reviews. And today I'm joined by reoccurring guest critic Darren.
Hello.
You might
Greetings.
Greetings. You might have recognized him from the WandaVision reviews that we did a few months ago, and he's also popped up here and there for our Wonder Woman 1984 review.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Infamous one.
Yeah.
So anyway, today we're going to be reviewing a movie that's streaming, and this is the first one I'm doing of a movie that's not playing simultaneously in the theaters and streaming. This one is specifically on Amazon Prime, and that is The Tomorrow War starring Chris Pratt. Now, before we do the review, I think we better gear up.
Okay.
Travel to the future to do
Alrighty.
this review.
Okay.
Got your bracelet?
Yeah, okay, got it.
Here we go.
Alright.
All right. Wow, we're in the future.
Yes, we are.
It's very green.
Yeah, but the grass wasn't greener on the other side for the Tomorrow War, was it?
No. Anyway, so we're going to get ready to do our review of The Tomorrow War. It's currently streaming on Amazon Prime. I believe it was supposed to get released in theaters before the pandemic, but here it is.
Here it is.
So I believe it.
Here we are.
I think it's. We saw an ad saying it was the #1 streamed movie in America right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, basically, this is Amazon's blockbuster because a lot of people couldn't go to the theaters, and I think they did a really great job of it. I mean, this was definitely one that I think I would have liked to see in a movie theater. But yeah, we got the small screen, and it is all thanks to Amazon.
Yeah.
So it was something different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now, the plot, to put simply, is it stars Chris Pratt. He's a former. He was in the army during the Iraq War, I believe, fighting in Iraq, and his story takes place in December of 2022, which is next year. Suddenly, these time travelers from 2051 say that they're being invaded by aliens, and they're losing, so they're asking people from the present to come travel back in time to fight, and Chris Pratt is one of those volunteers. I'll be honest with you, Darren, I did not see any trailers for this movie, so I saw advertisements on the internet, like at the top of the page.
Yeah.
I walked in there cold. I knew nothing about it. I just knew Chris Pratt was in it. It looked like it was a big fantasy science fiction blockbuster-esque type of movie.
Yes.
What was your overall impression with it?
Well, I mean, I was kind of like in the dark, like how you said, until I saw it on TV, a trailer, and I was just like, wow, I really got to check out that movie. So I got Amazon Prime, I got on there and pressed play, and it was so cool. It really was. This definitely has a lot of past, blockbuster vibes, like Independence Day, Aliens. I want to say that it's like Independence Day, Alien meets Resident Evil in a way, because this, the cinematic features, I mean, of this small blockbuster, in my opinion, is very. It's like a video game world. I mean, basically it would make a great video game. Just the cinematography is beautiful, as it is terrifying in a lot of ways. I watched this movie alone. If I watched it in the dark, I think I would have been a little bit freaked out. But if you want a thrill factor, I definitely recommend that. I really loved the just the creativity. I don't know if it was Industrial Light and Magic that brought this feature to life, but it was a sight to behold, in my opinion, and I would really love to see the budget for this small blockbuster. But I mean, it was just so well thought out. I thought, the script was great, the score was great, the movie the music of the movie just drew you in to really wanting to know more about these characters. Apocalyptic future that is set for us until Chris Pratt he goes to work and tries to save the day, but there are a lot of casualties along the way. Let's just we're not going to really get into detail because we want you guys to really see the movie and see for yourself what we are really talking about, because there are some really on the edge of your seat moments in this film. But I really love the cast, you know, starting with Chris Pratt. I mean, you could definitely tell that he really worked out for this role. Even J.K. Simmons worked out for this role. And then we got basically a surprise to me, if you remember 24 on Fox with Kiefer Sutherland. One of his castmates, Mary Lynn Raskub, is in this movie as well, and I really liked her as well in 24. We kind of got like a star-studded cast with this, but I really think that Sam Richardson really steals the show with his comedy, and J.K. Simmons follows that. I'm absolutely loving this movie. I think it's one of my favorite sci-fi features so far. Of course, you can't top Star Wars, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Rob?
Okay, well, my reaction's probably a little bit more mixed. Not like our review of 1984 Wonder Woman, but I thought this movie, because for those of you that didn't watch our review, we split big time on that movie.
Well, big time.
Yeah, he liked it, I didn't. I had a mixed reaction to this movie. I thought it was all right. Well, what I did like about it was I think Chris Pratt's character and some of the other characters are relatable. For example, he is trying to get a job somewhere at the beginning of the movie. He's doing an over-the-phone interview.
To Harvard.
Yeah, and they say, sorry, you're missing something, and we have to go with somebody else. And I've done job interviews, and I've talked to people that are job hunting, and usually they do the interview and they didn't get a job because they're missing like some sort of experience that they're looking for. But you're like, how are you supposed to get experience if you don't do that?
Right.
The movie also touches a bit on war and protests and PTSD, which again are subject matter that I think is relatable.
Very relatable to this time.
Yeah, so I mean, like J.K. Simmons' character, you know, he fought in a previous war and he came back and he was struggling and he had his own issues. And there's a scene where Chris Pratt's wife is having a meeting with veterans, and you know they're talking about some of the struggles that these things they're going to be stuck with for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Now with Chris Pratt, I had a mixed reaction to his performance. Now, on the one hand, his character reminded me of Star-Lord, especially in the beginning where he's doing his sarcastic comments and everything. I mean, I do like that he's trying to break away from Jurassic World and Guardians, but I felt like he was being too much like Star-Lord. I think he was at his best when he was doing quiet scenes with other characters like J.K. Simmons or Yvonne Strahovski, who played the colonel that he's working with in the future world. And also the scenes where he's forced to be a leader, I thought he was really good. And so I felt like I would have liked it if he got away from the whole sarcastic quips world, because when I saw him, I felt like this, like even the facial expressions he does when he's Star-Lord, he does here, and I felt like, I would have liked a bit of a differentiation between the two characters. But I mean, I kind of felt, I didn't feel quite involved in this movie like you did. There were some moments of suspense and there were some action scenes, especially near the end, but I felt like I didn't connect with the characters like you did. I felt like it was kind of, I felt like I was just sitting there taking it in. I felt like I dragged in a few spots, and I feel like, it's 140 minutes, so I thought it was a little bit too long. I mean, I liked some of the concepts of it, but there were two things that frustrated me about the movie. The big one is the humans in the future don't have good plans when they're fighting these aliens.
Oh,
there's
gosh.
two sequences. There's two sequences where they're like, well, you know how powerful they are. Why don't you guys have a better plan if you're going to do this? That was my. And the other one that frustrated me is there's a scene where the future people are having a meeting with the cadets that are about to go in and fight, like Chris Pratt's there, and they're asking very good questions like, whoa.
Yeah.
Why can't you send us to this time period where everything started, or why can't you show us pictures? Why can't you do this? And which are good questions. And the people, I mean, I don't remember their responses, but they're like, well, that's not how it works, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, the reason is obviously if they did that, we wouldn't have a movie, right?
Right.
But I felt like it was very flim-flammy. So those were the two things that really frustrated me about it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I get your flamminess, okay? But, I mean, obviously there has to be a conflict for a resolution, and what better way to put these characters into poor planning so these situations do arrive, because really it's basically a means to an end, really, until really something comes about.
Right. Perhaps, but I mean, I have seen some action thrillers where they're like, okay, here's the plan, and even though the plan is going according to plan, there might be something thrown into the
Right.
wrench. The action is very
Right.
tight. You know, you're really
Okay.
involved with everything that's going on, and even if something does get thrown into the wrench, you know, they're like, okay, this didn't work. Let's jump in and try this, and they don't know if
Right.
it's going to work or not, and everything.
Well-
but I mean,
well,
here I
that-
feel like it's not the case.
That's just the thing. They don't know what could take down their enemy, and the enemy that we're referring to, the aliens, are called white spikes.
Yeah.
And I mean, basically, I would love to just see the rigging system of these 3D modeled characters, whichever company brought these things to life, because I mean, these things are referencing like feline, canine. I mean, I even look and see like a little bit of Pokemon in them, like a Mewtwo or something like that. I mean, whoever really designed, like, just conceptualized this movie is just amazing in itself.
Yeah, I do like
They
the
are
visuals.
amazing.
I do like the visuals,
Yeah.
and I do like the camera work, and I do
I mean,
like the
just
technical
mind-blowing,
aspects of it. I do like that.
breathtaking. Yeah.
And I do want to say that other than J.K. Simmons, the only other castmate that really stuck out was Yvonne Strahovski as the colonel that the Pratt's character works with.
Right.
Now, yeah, I believe she is on Handmaid's Tale, but I don't watch that show, so I know nothing about her. And I mean, this was kind of interesting to me. Yeah, Pratt and Simmons were the only ones that I knew, and you said some of the cast members were from TV
Yeah.
shows, and I mean, I never watched 24, so again, I don't know who these. Now, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, if they
Right.
deliver a good job and they do great with their characters, it
Right.
shouldn't really matter.
Right. I mean, just that Mary Lynn, like from Rajub or something, Raskub. I mean, it's very hard to pronounce her last name, but she had, you know, a role that really fulfilled the movie. You know, I mean, I don't want to say too much about it, but she definitely was casted for a reason for the role that she played. And I mean, I just thought it just brought just so much more height to the story than after that point in the movie. But I mean, I really loved it. I mean, it just sci-fi, you know, again, a fanboy's dream.
Well, one thing I will say, I do like, you know, seeing Yovan and Pratt work together as a team. I think sometimes in movies it's like the man does everything, or in some recent
Right.
movies the woman has to lead. They're both working together as a team, and I feel like that was a good move, and I really liked seeing that.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie, I'm not saying that, but I think, you know, I think if this movie had gone out in theaters, I probably would have gave it a see it at home rating anyway.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Really?
I think, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. In the beginning, I thought the movie was, you know, great for the big screen with the sound effects and everything, but I feel like as the movie went on, it kind of felt like an episode of what I imagined 24 would be, the way it was shot or what have you. It felt almost like a TV show after a while in some scenes, like, for example, when they're at various bases and stuff. But yeah, I mean, for my rating, I think I would give it 3 stars. I think if you're looking for something to watch at home, I think this is fine. You know, it's a good, there's stuff concepts I think is relatable. I do think it's a little long, and I feel
Yeah.
like, you know, I would have liked to have seen Pratt kind of get away from the snarkiness. I don't know if it was in the script, if it was written for him, but I felt,
He did though. You know, like you mentioned, you know, his scene with his daughter, his family. I mean, and Betty Gilpin like plays his wife, and I thought she was just very, very like a great, you know, smart housewife. I mean, these are very intelligent people put into impossible situations, and I think that's what I really loved about this. I mean, like, everybody had like something to contribute to this movie. Like with J.K. Simmons, you know, if he never flew a plane and stuff, I think everything would have been doomed, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, you got just a lot of characteristics, a star-studded cast, amazing cinematography, and just visuals like no other. And I really would love to see the budget for this film.
so how would you rate it out of 5 stars then?
Okay, all right. So yeah, I do agree with like the flamminess of things, but I know it was necessary. But for what they had for the small screen, it was great. I usually would go a little bit higher to, just the full 5-star rating, but I'm gonna give it probably 4.5, just to be like a smart critic, because there's always something that could be really better. But definitely, I think it was a great movie that really related to the times of 2021, and I really loved just how strong the women are, like in these movies.
Yeah.
I think it like happened probably like from 2019 to, well, it probably started with the Avengers more than that, and then you got Wonder Woman on the DC side, and I really just love strong, powerful women, and I think we've seen quite a bit in this film.
Yeah.
So
So I'm like I said, I'm giving it 3 stars. It's good, not fantastic, but I think it's watchable. If you're looking for something to watch
Yeah.
at home, I think this will be fine for you.
yeah, but if I would have saw it in theaters with just like the surround sound and everything, I mean, I think I would have edged more to the 5-star rating. I get more of a thrill of movies when I see them in theaters rather than just on the home screen, So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well that's our review of The Tomorrow War. If you have seen the movie, what did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you think it was okay? Did you hate it? Please post your comments in the comment box below. And if you're interested, please hit the like button, and then check out some other movie reviews of movies that you can catch either at home or in the theaters. And if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. And Darren, thank you very much for showing up today.
No problem, Rob.
You're going to have to take us home now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because the future's really scary.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.